piece of amber. Give me a breath, like the fire you'll soon remember. Ooh. I'll be in the fleets until the end, I'm singing. Ooh, gotta know this propaganda. How do you do? For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. Hand like John, I let loose. Don't mind if I do. For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. Hand like John, I let loose. Don't mind if I do.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the monsoon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another great week here in Blitz R6. We've got a pretty good one on tap for you here. It's going to be Thrive versus Fluffy Aimers. I am your host with the most, your caster, Ace of Toronto. I've got Nia here right beside me. Nia, how are you doing today, and how are you looking forward to this matchup?
I am doing absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. And I am absolutely stoked to see these two teams play off. I've seen a little bit of their gameplay, and honestly, I think these are going to be two really good powerhouses. I'm hoping that these are going to, we're going to have to be going to all three maps. Like, I'm hoping for a war between these two.
Yeah, Thrive is currently coming off of a winning last week in 2 maps over TSG Black. Fluffy Aimers, if I'm not mistaken, they are coming off of a win, but either way, I've never casted them. Yeah, you're looking at the divisions here, though. TSG Black is still sitting at the bottom after losing to Thrive the way they did. Thrive is now at the top of 4th division. Looking around at the standings here, Fluffy Aimers is actually at the top of the 2nd division, with Wildcard Aces right on their trail. TSG Gold, the only undefeated team that we have left here. But we're not looking at Division 1, Nia. We're looking at Division 2 and Division 4, the top 2 in the standings. As we get ready to look at the teams individually, I would like for you to point out whatever you see that stands out to you.
I just think that it's absolutely amazing to see those two. Like, absolutely 3-1 on both sides. One of these people are gonna be walking away with a worse bracket here, and I think Thrive, personally, I'm gonna be putting some money on them. Like, they are definitely a powerhouse that I've seen in their bracket.
Yeah, Thrive did kind of make the jump going from bottom to the top here. I will say one thing really quickly before we move on. Rival was not in Thrive's lineup last week when it comes to them winning their match against TSG Black last week like they did. Rival is now a sub currently just for this match, as we're getting ready to look at Fluffy Amer's squad here to see if there's any differences on their side, and I don't believe there is. You've got JJ, you've got Kairu, Deity, Resident, and Emilio. It's a pretty good squad. If I'm not mistaken, this is somewhat of the same squad that they have seen so far, as we're getting ready to hop into our map bans really quickly here, trying to get this going as fast as possible for us. You're seeing Border and Lair be the first two maps taken off, as we're seeing Skyscraper come in as Thrive's pick, along with Nighthaven being Fluffy Amers' pick, and Consulate being the decider if we happen to go all three. What are you looking at here? What are you seeing? What are you liking? What do you dislike?
I'm liking here seeing the Border band come out and the bank, because that means with Border, it's such a small map. You have to play so much off of each other's refrags, and it's rather to be able to even get into the map, you have to have these really good entry players, or you have to basically throw a body just to get someone out of position so you can get that refrag. And with Bank coming out of this, they're getting rid of this like nice big open area, big roam game here with how that map is played. So I think we're going to be getting like a good mixture between the two. Skyscraper being one of those like medium-sized maps that's more about, you know, working the map, working the sides, trying to get, you know, that little bit of leverage. And Nighthaven also pretty similar with that. Like, you got to get all the kind of control before you can do anything about the site. If you forget to clear a floor or clear a room, you're just going to get absolutely backstabbed. And I'm hoping that these teams are going to be able to realize that, and this might be a more utility type game than more aiming.
That's a good point, as we're seeing Consulate be our final map, but we're not there yet, folks. We're just now getting ready to hop into our first one here, being Skyscraper, Thrive, and Fluffy Amers. If I'm not mistaken, this was Fluffy, I believe this was Fluffy Amers' map pick. Am I right about that, Nia, or am I wrong?
With this map pick, it was Thrive's pick for Skyscraper.
Okay. Gotcha.
So,
well, we've got to be hoping, if you're Thrive, you've got to be hoping that you've got a few different tricks up your sleeve, as Fluffy Amers will be starting on the defense, as we're getting into that just really quickly and shortly here. Yeah, what are you expecting out of the defenders on on the first defense specifically here on Skyscraper?
I'm expecting that they're going to be going T karaoke, and they're going to be doing an extension over into office side. I think they're going to be starting off with a pretty soft kind of roam over in that area, and they're going to try to fall back over into Dragon and to try to hold that position more and not really try to overextend themselves. They might get a pick. If they do, they're probably going to take their pick and fall back. If they're smart, they're probably going to have at least one more person when they do that fall back, playing downstairs, trying to protect the person that's going to be holding Geisha, because Geisha is such a power position when you're playing for karaoke, because if they get into that room, they have this amazing line of sight into the bomb site and into top black. And so making sure you get holding on to that, you know, that room is very important.
Yeah, that's a good point. I've casted a few different pretty good Skyscraper matches throughout my career so far, including one for Collegiate just last week where we saw a massive upset. I was on the call for that. That was an absolute insane battle there, but this time, instead of having an underdog come out on top, we're going to be seeing a battle of the top two in their respective divisions here in Blitz, as we are getting ready to roll into things here very shortly. Yeah, when it comes to Skyscraper though, this is certainly going to be interesting. It's one of those tertiary type maps where you never really think too hard on it. Like, it's either going to be banned toward the end, or it's going to end up being like your decider. But yeah, I'm certainly looking forward to it.
I will say that if Thrive is able to walk away with a 3-3.5 here, that is going to be absolutely amazing when they start onto the defense. This is a really defensive-sided map, depending on how you want to look at it. And if they can get that 3-3.5, and if they play conservative on their defenses, they'll be able to walk away with a pretty decisive win. They might have to fight for a couple on those tertiary sites, but I have a feeling that they'll be able to pull this off.
Yep, certainly looking forward to it, as the time for talk is finally over for us, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting ready to hop into it here, hopping into the gameplay that you all showed up to watch. We've got a pretty good one here on tap for you. Number 1 in the Division 2 versus number 1 in Division 4. It's going to be Fluffy Aimers starting on the defense versus Thrive. What are you expecting on this first ban? I'm going to say it's probably going to be a shield, but actually it ended up being Ying.
He is definitely one of those powerhouses, especially on this side, or not this side, this map at least, with the fact that how you would absolutely just be in a safe position to throw this in. Seeing the Montaigne band come out is, with how much the shields are powerhouse, it is definitely going to be really good.
Yeah, it's no surprise at all to see Monty band here. First defender band, I'm looking for either a Zami or Bandit, maybe even Kaid here. It's going to be Valkyrie, though. Valkyrie is very good on what can often be described as a somewhat open map. Definitely a lot of places to kind of hide your cameras. That's a pretty good pick for the side of the attackers banning that. Thrive. We're getting our last.
And then we got the Tubero. Tubero, absolutely. Me personally, when I've played so many maps on Sky, Tubero being left alive is so hard when you're trying to open up, office double, or whenever you're trying to get that geisha single. It is absolutely so hard to be able to get into that. So banning the Tubero to, allow for this easy entry is definitely going to be a big power play for the team. We are going to be seeing the T Karaoke bomb site first. And I will say the first thing that I'm noticing here is getting rid of the rotation onto top black is one play that I don't think I've seen in a long time. Because usually you want that avenue so you're not stuck in that bomb site and you can move around freely and escape if you need to. So them being able to block this off kind of is very interesting. Almost like they're wanting the team to kind of push over to that side into some kind of trap that they might be trying to set over there.
Yeah, they could be hitting them with a little bit of a bottleneck, but you weren't wrong when you were saying that there was going to be a little bit of an extended roam here, and that's exactly what we're seeing so far out of Fluffy Aimers. They're putting rotates where they want to put rotates at, and they are reinforcing what they think needs to be reinforced in order for this extended hold to be accessible, as we're now on the attack here. We're watching Thrive. Thrive are finally up and moving, and it's certainly interesting to see how they might end up taking this to start.
I will say, though, bringing the Deimos and having every single one of those operators tagged and pinged is going to be such an advantage here for Thrive. So that way they can absolutely go and just mark someone's specifically that they want to get out of that position on that roam. I will say they did bring the mute, and I'm assuming they have quite a few mutes over here on this extension over in office side. So they're going to have to try to work this out. I'm pretty sure they know that they got this player playing behind the desk here, trying to work him out, already opening up some of this line of sight, trying to get him out of that position, and he's just not moving.
Not moving at all. You've got a good point there, but Emilio does get the first kill onto Candle. It is a first pick for the side of Fluffy Aimers. Candle going down first was something we saw a few different times last week. He is a very important piece to this team, as Resided, I think is how you say that, is down to 55 health, as well as Moses being down to 50 health. So we're seeing a few gunshots go off, a few different people get hit. We've still got 2 ace charges in the back pocket of Moses, and only 2 concussions in Enrio's pocket for Thrive, along with 1 more Twitch drone in Twist's pocket.
I will say, though, it is absolutely amazing that they get that pick and just immediately fall off. They're going to take their advantage. Twitz is going to get a kill on Delia, and it's immediately switched off, and it is just a flurry of kills right now happening in the 2v3. Fluffy Aimers still have this advantage here in a 3v2. Went ahead and backed off, just going to be holding their angles, holding their positions here, but we still have the Deimos going to be swinging drum, going to pick up Rival. Brings us back to a 2v2, and he still has 1 more tracker on his ability to track someone down, try to make this a little bit of a better situation. Gonna be trying to reposition, trying to bring down some of their stuff, holding each other's crosses. They're going to try to drone him out. They are going to see one on top black, but do they know that the Mew here is playing on this Geisha connector? Tracker is going to come out. They do know where he is. Going to go ahead and try to use that utility. It is not going to be able to win the fight here. Trying to get the plant down in this 1v2. He is going to try to stick it. He's off, and Kuro going to be able to pick it up. First round for Fluffy Aimers.
Kuro took that one pretty well for Fluffy. I believe they played that to their strengths. I believe they played the picks perfectly. They took out who they needed to take out. There were a few trades here and there, but either way, the picks definitely fell towards Fluffy Aimers' way on that one for sure.
Absolutely beautiful play from Fluffy Aimers to get that early pick and back off and just play their advantage. Even though it's only one kill, that one kill can really last you the round. They wasted a lot of time on that roam, and getting a pick off of it is definitely going to be amazing. Switching over here to the office bomb site here, we're going to see a pretty default setup from them, and a little bit of a roam going over onto the karaoke. And I will say, though, it's a very interesting position where they're going to be putting the shield up in Dragon, seeming that they're wanting to hold over by T.
Yeah, it seems as though they made the footholds a full rotate on both sides of Geisha there, courtesy of Deity and his shotgun. Interesting to see JJ on the Maestro as well, however. Not quite sure what he's going to be able to do with that. I don't really think I've ever casted very much Maestro. It's just not somebody that you see too often, even though he does have that third camera nowadays. All of the defender utility we see now has gone out except for the one. Never mind. There's no more mine in the back of Emilio's pocket. We've still got all of the attacker except for there's a charging up in Rival's back pocket. Yeah, it's just one of those things where you need to take a little bit of time and assess who might be roaming. I don't believe there's anyone roaming currently, though, except for on the other side of the map there might be one. Couldn't quite see that, though. But yeah, Moses trying to get the wall open. It is muted there, but the Candle does have the pocket EMPs. This is going to be, yep, not what you wanted to see. Throwing the Twitch drone out, and Deity just kind of pushed off of it. That's the advantage of having mute, especially with a team that is so Twitch heavy as Thrive is. Thrive brought Twitch a lot last week. I don't think they've had a round without Twitch so far this week.
Thrive, if they can actually notice this, they have 4 roamers over here on this karaoke side. They only have Maestro that's over there on site. We got one below, and then we got 3 people playing upstairs in that karaoke side. And if he's not careful, Emilio gonna get a kill onto Ivory here, or Inro, Inro. Bad with names. But if he's not careful here, there is a Warden playing downstairs in stock. This might be a situation where he could easily come up and get a flank. They are still trying to deal with these people here. They got a 2-man advantage and almost basically a 3-man advantage here, as Gridlock is at 1 HP. Not just like in a sense that they're 1 bullet away. They are strictly at this 1 HP, and he's going to be trying to work a little bit of this map, try to help his team out. Finally getting a little bit of progress here into Gym. They are trying to open up this wall, but it is unable to be walked through.
No more ace charges in Moses' pocket either.
He's going to be able to find a pick onto Deity through the main breach here. They're still trying to work, trying to get into this position. But Fluffy Aimers is not giving them an inch. They are fighting back, holding their angles. Everyone
7 cumulative health.
They are also low, but Moses here trying to get something, getting picked off, and it is just a flurry of kills here in the last second. Fluffy Aimers absolutely taking the next round.
Yeah, you can't do too many swings when you have a cumulative of 7 health between the last 3 remaining members of the team. They were getting tagged when they didn't need to get tagged, and I don't believe they were too coordinated with their swings. Were Thrive right then, and it ended up being a loss for them on that account because they were just they were too low health. In all honesty, they certainly did not play that as well as they could have. They swung when they didn't need to swing. You're hoping to see something a little different out of Thrive, but I have heard quite a lot about how good Fluffy Aimers have been so far this season, and in all honesty, this could be a playoff preview at the very least. And so far, Fluffy Aimers definitely have Thrive's number, but I will say, Thrive definitely could have something in their back pocket when it comes to the when they're swapping sides on the defense.
Absolutely, Thrive still has a chance. It's only been 2 rounds. I can tell you, we look back at some of even the pro players where it's been down 6-0 and they bring it back on the side swap. So it might be a possibility that happens here. They are going to be roaming upstairs, trying to hold that vertical angle. Already so many of these holes being made just to try to hold above. This might be a situation if Thrive can read into this, they might be able to find a blind spot downstairs and possibly try to get a plant off here, but they do got to be careful. They do have the Solace to watch out for that, so they can make any holes wherever they try to get this plant off. I will say the knock is a very interesting pick to be bringing off. That gonna be trying to probably roam in by herself to try to get this sneaky peek, this sneaky pick that they're gonna be needing here. And I will say, the last 2 rounds, the Thrive just was not playing off of each other. They needed to be closer for those refrags. Like, this is one of those maps that you gotta be playing close with one other person to be able to make those, like, if someone dies, you gotta be able to get that refrag and you gotta get it fast. Otherwise, they're just gonna be a scale tipping over to one side.
It's very true. We saw the drone on not quite sure who it was. It could have been Fluffy or Resident there, knowing for a fact that he's in Geisha. But either way, Kairu is good for 2 onto Twizzed and Enrio, making it a 5-3 already very quickly, as Candle does end up getting one back. But Kairu is good for a triple here. Interesting. Kairu is down to 30 health, though.
Absolutely amazing play from Cairo, playing next to his teammate to be able to get that refrag or Kiru. Apologies.
Kiru.
But him able to get that refrag and getting those 2 entry picks is absolutely amazing. Rival here trying to pick a fight with the one playing NT, but absolutely flurry of kills come in right at the last second. C4 goes off, and oh, what a play from Fluffy Aimers, being able to hold that vertical with absolute ease. They are making it look like Thrive is just not here. Does Thrive know that the match has started yet?
Yeah, I will say Thrive are definitely getting off to somewhat of a slower start here. Not quite sure what I can say about last week, so much so as that Thrive was just a little bit better of the team last week whenever they faced off against TSG Black, but this week specifically, Fluffy Aimers are showing that they at least know their number. Not necessarily sure if they're going to dial it up yet, but they are up 3-0 here on the first map, and it's certainly concerning if you are on the side of Thrive. But I will say, there's always a possibility that they've got something big coming on the defense. I learned this last week in another league's casting. You cannot count a team completely out yet until they have started their defense, started their side swap. I'm looking forward to seeing what they might have in store, because dropping your first 3 on attack is certainly not something that you're looking forward to.
I will say, though, that as they make a full rotation here, going back to Team Karaoke, they do have a little bit of a slightly different setup than what they did last time to kind of try to counteract, Thrive's ability to adapt to what they saw last time. It is going to be pretty similar with how they're going to have a small little roam over an office, but will they be able to capitalize on this and understand what is happening? They do need to do a little bit more droning, because Ace lost not 1 but 2 of his Selma charges trying to throw it into Geisha here to get that single wall, and they were just both picked up from Wamai gadgets. There is no Wamai this time, but they definitely got to be careful of that happening again if they want a chance to be able to get back into this game.
Yeah, I don't think they really looked for that last time. They might not have even known that Wamai was on the board last time. But either way, that was a severe misplay on their side, as Fluffy, JJ himself, trying his hardest to catch a little bit of an angle there. He got really close to taking out whoever that is in kitchen. And Rival ended up getting resited, but
Kiru out
yep.
here getting a. This is what I mean. You gotta be playing next to each other for those refrags. It brings, like, that is Deimos. If I am correct, he didn't use not a single one of his Deimos trackers.
Nope.
Emilio gonna be able to get another one through the vertical.
Bomb located
Onto
by
Candle.
Attackers drop the
They're gonna go ahead and try to fall off their roam here and try to play their side, but Twist go ahead and equalizing is. Are they gonna be able to hopefully bring this into a round that they are going to be able to win? They are on top black. They have an OSHA shield that they can play behind here. Gonna be tagged up through the wall. They know that one is inside of this site. One's on the rappel to top black. They do have the opportunity here to try to pinch them. But as Twist tries to pick up the OSHA shield across, Emilio finds the feed. Able to get a pick here. And now we're in a 1v3 as Kiru picks up another. He's just outside the window, and I gotta say, like, is there a miscommunication of what's happening? And Kiru goes ahead and cleans up.
Kiru definitely showing why he's one of the best in this league. He's proven it as of right now against a pretty good team in Thrive. Thrive definitely don't seem to be playing their game right now. They don't seem to be on it at this very current moment. Much love to the guys over at Thrive, but hey, you got to be thinking, you know, did they have enough practice time? You know, because like I said in the intro, Rival was not here last week when they had that pretty dominant win over TSG Black. You got to be thinking, did they get enough scrim time in? Did they get enough practice? You know, did they? I mean, it could even be something as simple as, did they run enough TDM before they, you know, hopped into this match? Like, this is, to me, this is a little bit more than a ranked match. If I was a player right now, I'd be thinking of this as just a little bit more than a ranked match. So you got to be thinking, like, did they prepare properly? Because, like I say, their defense could be something special, but being down 0-4 right now is not the way that you want to go into it, because they could end up not even picking up a single win on their attack, and then what? Like, your defense would have to be beyond stellar. So yeah, you got to be thinking that miscommunication, maybe they didn't get enough scrim time in. This is a new team member that they have on their team, at least as of this week. So it's certainly something to look out for and to see how, you know, it continues to play out, because Rival does have the most kills on the side of Thrive right now. But yeah, I mean, come on, 11.
Kiru gonna absolutely get an amazing spawn pick right here within the first 30 seconds, and that's the Sophia off the board. That is a lot of utility. If it was the Ace, they might have been in an even worse position than what they are. Luckily, they still do have their hard breach, and Kiru absolutely going on a tear, showing that this is their map. They are showing that this is theirs, and they will not give up a single inch for anything. And that's the Capito. Smokes, fire. That's a lot of utility to get rid of. They are going to be able to notice that there is somebody playing on house stairs, going to try to get rid of some of that utility. And finally, Rival gets Kiru, bringing it, taking out that 12-2 player. Absolutely huge for Thrive to be able to get this pickup. They're going to try to equalize this. It is a 4v3, managing to try to get rid of some of this utility. They know one is playing up here at top house. Gonna try to do as best that they can to recover this round with a minute 30, and they don't have a lot of, like, any control of the map here.
Yeah, I think they're just kind of having to play into Fluffy's hands at this point. Fluffy aimers are really just what they've done so far throughout 4 rounds. They're doing here again. They're controlling the map and they're controlling the round way better than Thrive have been so far. Obviously, with them being up 4-0, you know, you take out both those drones as you are resited here, He knows that Twist is there. Twist is just going to have to try to win this, but it's a shotgun. Resident gets 2, taking out Rival as well. Man, Fluffy Aimers are really on top. I mean, in all honesty, Emilio ends that one, makes it 5-0 Fluffy Aimers. I mean, man, this could end up being really bad for the side of Thrive.
You gotta think, Thrive picked this map, meaning that they had to been confident on their attack and their defense. Because when you pick a map, you gotta realize, absolutely fried my brain for a second. They picked this map, and when you pick a map, you gotta be confident in both your attacks and your defense, because 95% of the time, whenever you pick a map, the other team is gonna pick defense.
Yeah, that's a good point. A lot of the maps being a little bit more defender heavy these days. Yeah, when you pick a map, you need to be a little bit more confident and have at least a little bit more strategy in your back pocket. As of right now, Thrive have barely shown anything that has actually been worth cheering for. At me myself, having casted in this league so far since the open quals and whatnot, I have actually taken somewhat of a liking to Thrive. I'm gonna say it out loud. Supposed to be unbiased, yes, I understand, but you know, it's a team that I've casted a pretty decent amount. And yeah, I just, as a Thrive fan, I'm not saying I don't want Fluffy Aimers to win, they're really good and all that, but you know, if you put yourself in the shoes of a Thrive fan who could be watching this right now in the chat, it's not, they're not giving you anything to cheer for right now. They're not showing why they're at the top of their division currently. It could just be the fact that Fluffy is this much better, but you wouldn't have really thought that Fluffy was this much better, because if I'm not mistaken, their records are either the same. But, you know, either way, JJ gets the kill onto Rival, who has been the biggest and baddest so far for Thrive. You know, if you are a Thrive fan in the chat right now, you are not feeling too good about this so far, as it is 5-0 Fluffy right now, and your top frag for Thrive is off the board for Thrive.
Twist is going to be able to equalize, and that's a huge pick, getting rid of Kiru, but Fluff is going to equalize, bringing back to Moses, and then it's immediately switched again by Candle picking up a kill and onto the recited. So we do have an equalized 3-3 here, but they do have the pulse, and they are trying to be playing upstairs, so there is this chance that, you know, he still has a C4 in his back pocket, might be able to get that vertical play here. Gonna be trying to, you know, sneak around, trying to stay out of sight. Gonna try to go ahead and take some of this top control again. There's nobody in sight right now. All 3 defenders are playing upstairs, trying to push this attack back, and if Thrive can read into this, they can quickly go for a push into the site here. But JJ gonna get a kill. A flurry of kills comes out as Twist picks up 2. We are now down into a 1v1. Emilio and Twist. Twist is on lower HP, but that doesn't mean that he might be able to get a kill onto Emilio's head and win at least one round for Thrive. He's gonna be trying to check the angles, try to make a bunch of line of sights. Does he know that he's in this T room? It seems like he does. He did just see the tip of his head.
He tagged him.
Gonna be playing around, dancing around this wall here, trying to see if he can get an angle or trying to make him peek.
He doesn't have diffuser.
30 seconds left, and unfortunately Emilio's gonna have his number, rotating back downstairs and gets a free kill. That just makes another round for Fluffy Aimers.
Yeah, Emilio just played that better, honestly. As the sides do swap, yeah.
Emilio playing, rotating for the site play, knowing that they don't have the diffuser, and now it's the site swap. Thrive, they best hope that their defense is a brick wall. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to do anything.
Thrive's going to need to show something big here. They really are.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
We are going to be seeing a karaoke NT defense. So I'm assuming with the dock, they're going to be trying to, you know, take these aggressive plays, try to take these aggressive fights and try to heal up their team as they try to do this. And I haven't seen Fluffy Aimers, like, you know, attack yet, but they might be fast. if they're fast, they might be able to take out Thrive like super quick with this, because they are playing this aggressive game on defense where they're swinging everything, they're getting their picks, and once they do, they fall back and hold their positions, hold their angles, and let them, you know, walk into their line of sight.
Attackers are heading out.
So
to defuse a bomb.
if they're pushing, if they have any kind of like aggression like they did on defense, they'll definitely be able to get this round dusted over.
Yeah, you know, based on what I've seen so far with Thrive, they're a little bit more of a we're gonna hold off site, but we're also gonna hold our angles properly type team. So you got to really hope that Fluffy can get in, can have a get in and get out type of mentality when it comes to just taking this one, making it 7-0, and hopping us straight on to Nighthaven. But yeah, they're doing something. They're doing one thing different that I can already tell you right now. That Thrive didn't do too well on their attack, and that is a little bit of extra drone work has gone a long way. But I will say Candle did get that first kill onto Deity, as well as Twist getting that kill. Oh wow, and then Resident gets the kill onto Twist to make it 4-3.
It's absolutely amazing that Recited was able to just be there ready for that refrag.
Oh.
But Candle out here is going on a tear, showing that Office is his domain. Where was this aggression that we needed on attack? They're over here just swinging and peeking everything, only losing one member so far. It is still winnable for Fluffy Aimers here in this 2v4. But if they're smart, you know, Thrive is gonna play their advantage here and just hold each other's crosses, hold each other's angle. But we're gonna see Emilio pick up Candle here. So it is now a 3v2. They do know that one is in drum. If he can pick up this kill, it's going to be an absolute game changer and putting us into a 2v2. It is possible. I don't think he knows that he's tucked here. Gonna try to play it safe a bit. If they can get a drone in there, might be a little bit helpful. I don't know if they have any drones in pocket to be using them. We got one drone, but no, they don't know he's in drum. Rival picks up one, and Moses picking up their first round for Thrive.
Thrive doing what they do best, and they are a really good defending team, as can be said about a lot of teams in multiple different leagues. But yeah, Thrive really do thrive, on the defense. They really do a really good job. Candle really does a lot of his shining on defense, as per shown right then. They did get a little bit more of their round wins, I think, on the defense last week. I'm not 100% fact checked on that, but I will say that they were playing a little bit worse of a team than them, in all honesty, because they were below them in the standings, I think. So yeah, like, Fluffy is just really coming out here and showing them, like, hey, we're not TSG Black, we're not anybody that you faced so far, because Fluffy is undefeated. I take everything that I said back, because Thrive does have a loss. So they're showing why they're still, and only so far, the only undefeated team left here in Blitz.
I will say, though, it's absolutely amazing to see Thrive finally being able to pick up a round, showing some life here. But Hiru on the other team is such a powerhouse right now, going 12-4 on the opposing team's map. Gonna be picking up the striker here. Gonna be trying to use that extra utility, those nades and those flashes, to really, get more kills, push them out of these positions here. We are gonna see how they're gonna be trying to push this. Now, they know the site is going to be Office side, and they're gonna be trying to be really quick with this. Looks like, Recited over here wanting to try to open up the single wall, but not knowing how they're gonna be doing it. Gonna save the Heartbeat Street charge for another location. Just use an ace charge on it. It is gonna be muted, so it's not gonna immediately open. They're gonna try to get that mute charge from outside without having to expose themselves, and they are able to manage this. But with the zombie on the board, there's gonna be so many lines of sight cut off, giving Thrive these great positions, and kills start coming in. Iroh gets one on Ilio. JJ equalizes back on Iroh. Candle getting another. Candle getting two. Rival picking up one more. It is now a 4v1, in this situation as Fluffy Aimers just walk into the sight line of Thrive.
Yeah, they definitely weren't. They definitely weren't showing too much of that coordination that they had been so keen on showing whenever they were on the defense, especially in this specific round right here. They weren't showing too much when it comes to they weren't showing too much when it comes to the coordination. Recited just doing anything that he can. He still has 1 minute and 10 seconds left, but he is down and at the mercy of Moses Twist and a 56 HP Candle. Wall somewhat open, somewhat not. Recited's gonna have to get real active here real quick as they're just shooting him through the wall now.
There is 50 seconds left. They do have a cam on him. They know he's here. Gonna reposition to hold each other's cross, but he is gonna be able to get a kill. It is a 2v1. It is still winnable for Recited. He was throwing a, he was showing some frustration by shooting the body of Rival here, but Thrive is not gonna give him a single inch. They're just gonna hold each other's crosses here. They know he's on the door, and there we go. Candle is able to pick up the kill.
Yeah, Candle was just waiting on him to come in there. It was really just watch my back while I bait him, and that's exactly what happened. Thrive are, pushing a little bit of extra life into this match. It's certainly, how much longer are they going to be able to go on with this for? Thrive definitely could bring this all the way back. That would absolutely not shock me very much considering what I saw from them last week. But yeah, Fluffy really did do their best in getting out to this early lead and having such a dominant defense now where they only need one on the attack. And so far, there hasn't been any on the attack. Not even from the two that Fluffy have done on their attack. So they're hoping to get one here soon to close it out and send us to our next map. But as of right now, Thrive really have started to get the wheels turning a little bit more, as it is now 6-2 instead of the previous 6-0.
Fluffy Aimers definitely have the chance here to pick up this round, as they are now on, Kitchen Barbecue.
5 seconds to go.
One of the tertiary sites, we could say. I was gonna say one of the harder sites, but then we forget there is bedroom
That's true,
which
yeah.
is an absolutely nightmare to try to defend. So they are gonna be trying this full site rotation and hoping that Fluffy Aimers is not gonna be able to figure this out. They don't have as many vertical holes. They are holding above, but they don't have the same amount of vertical holes that, Fluffy Aimers had. But they are going to be able to recognize that they're going to have to take this top row control. Already opening up Geisha single here. Trying to figure out where everybody is. Trying to position everybody for this push. We got 2 on site, 3 above. So this is definitely a lot lighter roam than what Fluffy Aimers were doing. Because Fluffy Aimers only had 1 on site with 4 above, which gave them so much more manpower to keep them outside the map. But we already got Kiru pushing up house stairs. Gonna try to get into this position. Let's hope that Kiru doesn't die here with 2 Dokkaebi calls in pocket. It's gonna be so big if he can get one of those off to help clear out these roamers here. Here's the gunshots. Knows someone's going to be playing close on D. A is going to be able to get the kill on Twist, playing drum, not realizing. Candle going to be able to equalize on Emilio. Candle gets another onto JJ. Candle bringing this back into Thrive's arms. Gonna just try to hold position here. Doki call is coming out, so they are going to have an idea of where these roamers are playing. Kiru, go ahead and equalizes. It's now a 3v3. They're gonna try to get this last guy out of Geisha. Also try to push the site at the same time.
Oof.
Deity able to pick up 1. It is now, it's done and dusted. As I was about to say that it is a 3v1 with 1 player being down, they pick up the last alive player, and it is now a 7-2 victory for Fluffy Aimers.
Yeah, Fluffy Aimers played that absolutely perfectly. They're showing why they're one of the best teams in Blitz. Yeah, they really owned Thrive right then, and that was not something you like to see if you are a Thrive supporter, you got to hope they're going to be able to bounce back. But as of right now, that was a pretty dominating win for the side of Fluffy Amers, winning 7-2 on our opening map.
Absolutely amazing play from Fluffy Amers. Like, they really showed up on their opposing, enemies map. And I am getting word from production that there might be a reason why they were shooting Rival's body is because they recently left Fluffy Amers to join over onto, Thrive's team. So
that's a very good point.
Over here showing it's like, hey man, you left us to go join another team. Like, why would you do that? Really, out here there is, if that's the case, the absolute rivalry that is between the two.
Yeah, this is certainly becoming a budding rivalry with that right there, coming to light. You gotta hope that you're gonna be able to bounce back if you were on the side of Thrive. Going into our next map here, we'll get into all of that and more when we see you with your popcorn, hopefully, on the other side of this break.
Ready for this. Just want to be myself. Don't talk to nobody else. I want to be someone special. I don't want to be a typical person. To get away from my tangle. To start from fresh with a fundamental. I feel it right. I feel it right. I feel it right. I feel it right. I'm learning how to be a better version of you. And now I realize I'm talking to myself. Doesn't really need to be forever. Doesn't make you feel better. I feel it right. 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 Wanna be delivered to the
All right, ladies and gentlemen, gotta hope that you are back with your popcorn by now. Hopefully you're running out of the bathroom to get back comfy in your little chair. Little recap here. We had Fluffy Hammers and Thrive. That's what you're going to be watching if you're just now tuning in. They did have a map 1, and it just so happens that Fluffy Hammers ended up taking that one 7-2 on Skyscraper, which was our map 1, as we're getting ready to roll on into our next map here, which is Nighthaven Labs.
If Thrive has any kind of hope to bring this series back, they're definitely going to have to do something about their attacks. They are going to be starting on defense for this map, but if Fluffy Hammers has the same kind of aggression that they did on their defenses as their attacks here on Nighthaven, it's definitely going to be hard for them.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be very tough, considering the uphill battle that they fought which was last map on Skyscraper. As you can see here on your screen, it was 7-2 Fluffy Hammers. If we happen to have a chance to go to Consulate, that would be certainly a sight to see, because Thrive, I know they're better than what we saw. It's, based on what I saw last week and based on what I've been seeing this season, they are a better team than what we saw right then. It's got to be something that you're hoping for here, is to get out to an early lead, kind of like Fluffy Hammers did. Fluffy Hammers had gotten to a point where they only needed to win 1 out of the next 6 or 7 depending, and they did a really good job at that. So yeah, if you're Thrive, the one piece of hope that you've got left is that you're starting on defense. Maybe you can kind of stun them early and get out to 3-0, 3-1, maybe even a 4-0 or a 4-1. But yeah, time for talk is now over, as we can see what Thrive are really capable of here on Nighthaven Labs. They're starting on the defense. If you're just joining us, it was 7-2 Skyscraper. Fluffy Hammers is up 1-0 in this series. They only have one more win left, and hopefully for them it will be here on Nighthaven.
Absolutely, and I'm excited to see these bans come through. Thrive banning the Montang just like they did on Sky is pretty common here, especially trying to take up those rafter controls. I wouldn't surprise me if we were to see a zombie ban, with how strong she would be on that top and bottom floor. Being able to push these areas. Nighthaven is such a map that is just, when it comes down to it, it comes down to map control. If you do not get map control, you're not going to be able to win the round.
That is a good point. That is a very good point, as we see all 3 of the same bans from Skyscraper so far. Just need Valkyrie in order to round it out. I would, like you said, be expecting a zombie here as the ban. Don't really know what to expect. It could end up being Valkyrie again, but it actually does end up being Valkyrie again. So we're seeing the exact same bans, not in the exact same order, that we saw from Skyscraper, which means a zombie for the defenders, and Thrive is still on the table, a zombie being one of the strongest defenders for Nighthaven Labs, but not necessarily the strongest on Nighthaven Labs when you are going to basement, tank, and assembly first.
Yeah, with that basement, it's going to be one of those things that, are they going to have a 1-2-2, or are they going to have a 1-3-2 or 3-1 with this roam here? Because having that vertical play is going to be so important for holding this site. Gonna need to have that one player that's playing inside to prevent any rushes, and even though the Monty is banned, seeing recited here, pick up the blitz is going to be such a huge play. You can just tell by this lineup that they want to get rid of this roam game fast. They're going to bring the blitz. They're going to bring the Deimos. They're just going to push these people out of their positions. And hopefully, if they're smart, they can coordinate with their team and have a cross for a easy kill.
They might. They definitely might. As we're getting the attackers in here first. Twiz down there making sure that he gets use of his castle. Barricades is certainly an interesting setup there from him, along with Candle. Roman on the Solus, maybe looking to get an early pick for the side of Thrive, as we've already got Deity showing what he has been known to do, and that's do a little bit of Mav tricking there. The wall is now going to get open for the side of JJ and Fluffy Aimers. They knew that it was a bandit based on their drone work, but the bandit battery is a little bit harder to get off on that single wall over there. The wall is indeed open over there, going into, I believe that is assembly. Yeah, this
I don't think they were able to
standard here. Yeah, they didn't get the single open, I don't believe, with no more ace charges in Fluffy's JJ's pocket.
Recited getting the first kill here on that roam game. Might be able to get a second one here on Twist, but I don't know if he knows that he's in this corner. If he is able to get this kill, could be really good. Trying to get the vertical play here. Gonna be going ahead and taking out cameras, just trying to figure out where the rest of these roamers are. And I'm pretty sure it was the bandit. He used his C4 to prevent that single wall from opening. Candle being able to...
Recited.
Sorry.
No, you're good. This is just going the same way that it did last time. Enrio gets one, but yeah, Deity closes it out. It's not looking good early, but I really don't think that they played that as well as they could have.
Absolutely, like they had the roam game, but they weren't playing close enough to each other. That second floor, like that top floor is important, yes, but it is also so important to be holding that mid floor. That is where it's more important to be holding. There are some angles that can be held from the top floor all the way to basement, but when it comes down to it, holding that second floor, holding those stairways to prevent Fluffy Aimers to be able to push those stairways is so important. And the fact that they were able to open up that main wall so fast at the round, they were just able to just walk right into the site.
Yep, they did a pretty standard ranked type, just, you know, ace, Maverick, get the wall open. Yeah, I don't believe Thrive were looking for that. I don't think Thrive had any idea that they were going to go so just standard vanilla with it. Like, they got the wall open fast. They didn't really need to plan it necessarily, but, you know, as these roamers were filtering back into the room, it was just pick after pick after pick that fell in the way of Fluffy Aimers, and it got to a point where it was 5-1, then it went down 4-1, and then that was that. So yeah, they were in the right place at the right time, and the roamers that were filtering back into the site were just getting taken out one by one, and it's not a good look for Thrive so far, because Fluffy Aimers really are showing that they are the better team as of right now.
Yeah, Fluffy Aimers here just noticing that they have a huge roam present and is just deciding to circumvent that by going for a direct take here. They are going to be trying to open up this wall. They did bring the Thatcher here to make it a little bit easier. Emilio going to be getting a pick onto Rival, which is not going to be really good for Thrive. They want to be able to. Going to try to get a pick onto this roaming Vidal. Not going to be able to pick it up though.
Reloading!
Didn't take Twist out. Twist is still dangerous, but they're going to tell Recited to go sick him. And that's exactly what he's going to try to do, as they're just ringing around the rosy at this point. He almost had him there, but yeah, I don't think that... Oh my, never mind. Twist does end up getting the kill, but Emilio was right there behind Twist, and that's something that I can say that Fluffy Aimers has been doing pretty well, and that's having a teammate alongside another teammate, especially if they end up getting swung like what just happened.
I will say though, that is a huge pick to get rid of the blitz.
Oh.
Kiru gonna pick up Irino, Candle gonna try to equalize this, but Kiru, sorry, is going big right now. Gonna try to turn this into a winnable situation, trying to find these ones, isolate them. But Fluffy Aimers, they know where he's at. They're gonna be working together, and they are gonna be able to clean up.
Yeah, JJ taking Candle out there to end it and keep Fluffy Aimers on top. I believe he had something good going with watching that doorway, but I believe as well as he, like I say, he was doing pretty good with the way that he was looking in that doorway, but he just knew that he was in danger from the jump. I mean, with that wall being open the way that it was, this is not at all what you like seeing if you were on the side of Thrive right now. Candle's going to have to pick it up. He only has one. You're going to have to hope that Rival can get going as well. Rival did get a few extra kills on the attack last time, though, I will say, so that could just be where Rival is going to shine. As of right now, you got to hope that they can get it going. They are down 0-2. This doesn't mean that it's the end of the match as of right now, but I will say you would have thought that Thrive would have been a little bit better of a defending team with what we saw last week and with the few bright spots that we saw out of their defense in this win, or in that last map. But yeah, no, they are not showing too much promise as of right now, as it's 0-2 Fluffy Aimers. Last time it was 0-2 Fluffy Aimers. They ended up going 6-0, going up 6-0.
I mean, they still have a chance. They are going to be rerunning the same site. It's probably going to be the same kind of clear here coming from Fluffy Aimers. Can Thrive adapt to how they're trying to push? If they can get rid of that blitz, again, even if they're down one person, getting rid of that blitz is going to be so big. Because shields right now are meta. Being able to try to open up these angles here, trying to push people out. Just not being too aggressive here, knowing that they don't really have the room to be. But Candle gonna get one on Recited. This is a huge pick, getting rid of the blitz.
Yeah, that was the blitz. That was not someone that you wanted to see off the board early and Recited. You've still got Twist roaming around here. He's got the Boss G in his back pocket. Deity, however, is out there with Kiru, trying to get the wall open. In Rio, though, a quick little headshot onto Kiru, and they're trying to make a little bit of a, trying to send a little bit of a shockwave into this round. And being up 5-3 right now, I will say all of the attackers are still full health. Candle is down to 28, so it's, not looking the best for him specifically. But I believe that Thrive definitely could pick this one up if they play the rest of this correctly.
Yeah, they're going to be droning this out, noticing that one's going to be playing electrical, but the wall, they've reinforced it, meaning that they can now enter in this position and just think. C4 goes out, does not connect, does a little bit of damage here. Gonna try to, they are all stacking. You got 3 players stacking in one spot to get away from that nade. But just trying to hold these angles here, trying to figure out where they're going. Twist is gonna peek and get a kill on Emilio. But because of that nade, it is able to pick up his own kill. We're in a 2v4 here, trying to open up. Inrio peeking. Deity able to get a pick, and Candle is able to close it out. That gives the first round to Thrive.
Yeah, Thrive taking their first round. Like I said, you got to get Candle lit. You got to get Candle going. Candle did pretty good right then. I believe he got either 1 or 2 right then. So yeah, you got to get Candle lit. You got to get Candle going. You got to get Rival up and going as well. This is the way that they can start their comeback, even though they were only down 0-2. You got to look at the last map and how bad they lost that. This is the way that they can start their comeback if they start mounting a little bit of extra pressure. Seeing Rival on the Scopos, it's certainly an interesting pick to say the very least. I only know of one pretty good Scopos player. Shout out to Cloudy. But yeah, it's certainly going to be something. I do want to ask you a quick question though. When it comes to Scopos specifically, I know you haven't really done too much casting, but if you have had a chance to play Scopos yet so far this season, like most of us probably have, what are your thoughts?
Scopos in the right hands and on the right map can be such a big powerhouse, especially in a map like this. You can have one sitting in basement ready to go for those sneaky flanks. If they understand that nobody's playing basement or no one's going to like try to contest it, he can put one of his Scopos drones downstairs for a late flank and could possibly, even with those impacts, impact from below. So when it comes down to the Scopos play, I think it's how they choose to utilize him. He can get a kill and switch to his other one and be full HP again.
Very true. Very true. Full HP is definitely achievable just by swapping, which is what makes Scopos such an interesting operator. As Kiru going to be trying to sneak up Aqua Stairs Deity, meeting up with a teammate outside. Kiru, though, trying to make sure that there's no one holding up here, and now Kiru does discover Moses on the mirror up here. Moses does definitely have priority on this and will win if Kiru were to swing him, almost certainly. As Candle giving a little bit of backup, certainly something that you like to see out of the side of Thrive, having multiple different teammates ready for a possible swing, knowing that someone's over there. As JJ and Kiru get the first two, it's 5-3 now.
Candle being able to re-establish some kind of connection into this round. Twist gonna equalize it, making it a 3-3. They are equalizing now. All those flurries of kills came out just because of the Dokkaebi call, being able to identify where exactly these players are hiding in a room. They are going to be trying to play a little bit more safe here. Kiru trying to see if he can find a way into the site, but nothing yet. The Thrive players are just going to be playing passive here, waiting for Fluffy Aimers to push into their line of sight. Got Twist here playing on the IT wall, trying to see if he can see anybody. If he's not careful, he can easily get picked off here.
He does have Candle with him, though. That's one thing I can say about Thrive. They've learned a little bit, at least, from their mistakes. And knowing that you should probably have someone with you. Kiru, though. Candle. Man, Twist was just right there. Kiru, once again, dropping a triple this time. Looking to close it out from the side of Fluffy Aimers and make it 3-1. And he does. Kiru, nice little headshot on the Moses there. And that will end the round for Fluffy Aimers, making it 3-1 in their favor.
Kiru is such a powerhouse right now on Fluffy Aimers. Regardless if they're down a player or down two, they are picking it up. He is equalizing, and with that Dokkaebi, if this goes to a map 3, they might want to try to get rid of Dokkaebi off the board as almost a target ban for Kiru. He is such a powerhouse with that SMG-12.
It's a good point. If Thrive do happen to have the chance to push this to Consulate, it would not be the worst idea in the world to try to do at least a little bit of target banning. We've seen the same two bans come out so far from both teams, being Monty, Valkyrie, Thural, and Ying. That happened also on the 7-2 win for Fluffy Aimers on Skyscraper. Yeah, you're just really hoping that you can keep this one from getting reeled too far out to sea, if you know what I'm saying. Like Thrive, they were in this a little bit, especially when they got their win to make it 2-1. But yeah, Fluffy Aimers are slowly but surely starting to run away with it just a little bit more based on that last round win right there, right then. And yeah, you gotta hope that you can keep this one reeled in at least just a little bit if you're on the side of Thrive.
Absolutely agreed here. They need to, equalize on these rounds, try to at least make this a 3-3. They are going to be going back to the basement here. The JJ here making a bunch of holes, so they can't identify what hole they might be peeking if they are on that hole. But we got Kiru here in a position where he could almost just walk straight down. I don't think they know he's in this position. Twist trying to take a fight here, but managing to get him. But Kiru instantly just equalizes.
Kiru really showing why this is going to quickly become one of BLITZ's biggest rivalries. Kiru and Fluffy Aimers haven't taken any chance they can to shoot a dead body, all due to Rival. And I will say, Rival might not, and in all honesty, it might not have been the right move. I don't know. Enrio getting the kill onto JJ, though, Yeah, if you're rival, you got to be thinking like, is there a reason why I left? Like, you know, there could have been some inner turmoil that rival didn't want to have to deal with. But either way, Emilio on to Enrio, rival onto Deity, finally getting his first. He got a little breadstick now. Kiru onto Moses though, keeping it at 2-2. Kiru is on only 20 health. Rival is on 70. The other two are at full. This is shaping up to be an interesting round as Kiru does go down, and it's 2-1 through the floor.
The diffuser was outside, so he was having to use a secondary hard breach just to be able to recover the diffuser here. They do have an idea of where he is, but he's got vertical play. If they can figure out where he is, this could be such an easy win for Thrive. He is trying to get a plant down, but they don't know where it's going down. He might be able to get this, and we're now in a post-plant situation. This is a lot more winnable here for Fluffy Gamers. Can he try to equalize? He's going to just hang out outside the breach here, wait for the defuse sound, and they're going to have to try to cover each other while one tries to go for this defuse.
Emilio, though, he's holding a really good angle here. He remembers where he planted the diffuser, and all he's got to do is use his ears. He could swing that pretty well, but nope. Yeah, he didn't plan for the guy to be glitching on the bomb there, as Thrive do happen to get their next round here. And like I said, hopefully they can keep this from getting reeled too far out of hand, as it is now 2-3 for Fluffy Gamers.
As we go into round 6, the last round before the side swab, you know, Thrive can walk away with a 3-3 half here, which isn't ideal, but it would be better than going with a 2-4 half. They are, if they struggle on attack as much as they did on Skyscraper, this might almost be over for them. So hopefully they can be able to get one more round to hopefully get a little bit more leverage when it comes to attack.
Yeah, it's not going to be very good at all if they end up attacking the same way that they attacked on Skyscraper, because they didn't get any on Skyscraper attack. So they've been playing a little bit more of a balanced game so far here, even though they have been on strictly the defense so far. They've let Fluffy get 3 on the attack, which is definitely not what you want to see from the side of your defense, and that gives Fluffy a little bit more momentum going into their defense, as we're getting ready to do that right after this round right here. Thrive looking to hopefully tie it up 3-3 as we hop into this round here.
They do have a 50-50 with this bomb site on this map so far for this match. So hopefully they can replicate the same kind of, you know, win that they got the last time here. Recognize how, you know, Kiru and JJ and all of them play. If they can realize where this push is coming from, and hopefully it would be good. Fluffy Aimers here, hopefully they don't lose their blitz, because that blitz is such a pinnacle for trying to make this push happen, and hopefully they don't lose it in the first, you know, minute or so.
Yeah, so far they haven't. They do still have 2 minutes left on the clock, so it's no rush, so to speak, for Fluffy to get in. They are holding some pretty good angles here. Twist might be a little over when he's in electrical here, but Candle does end up getting the first onto Kiru, which is not what you want to see if you're on the side of Fluffy Aimers. Kiru, quick little score update for you. Kiru has the most on Fluffy Aimers with 9, and the only other person in the entire lobby close to him right now is a few of them tied at 5, as Enrio does end up getting his 5th onto JJ. Emilio also has 5, and Candle and Twist also have 5 as well.
They're going to try to go for an explosive push here with the blitz. Emilio's going to be able to get rid of that Warden. Going to see if he can try to push forward, but Candle absolutely decimating the blitz here. They are going to try to equalize here. Deity able to get one on Twist. It is a 3v2. As I say that, Enrio picks up on Deity, making it a 3v1. Thrive, if they're smart about this, they can easily walk away with a 3-3 half. And if you're a Thrive fan, that's what you're hoping, that they're finally waking up now.
That's what you've got to be hoping, is that Thrive can walk away with this, and they do, as Candle gets the final one here, nailing the coffin, so to speak. I'm not quite sure. You got to hope, if you're on the side of Thrive, that you are going to be able to actually, like, hold on to the momentum that you've gained so far in coming back and making it 3-3 now, as Fluffy Aimers getting ready. to hop on the defense for the first time here on Nighthaven Labs. When it comes to, an even side, it's definitely not what you want to see, considering you were the ones who defended first if you're on the side of Thrive. But if you're on the side of Fluffy Aimers, you're absolutely ecstatic that you even got 3 on your attack, because some teams definitely struggle more than others to attack, and some teams struggle more than others to defend. So either way, you gotta realize that you are dealing with a pretty good defender-sided team, and Thrive ended up dropping 3 on their defense, which is, arguably they're better of the two when it comes to, which are they better at, attacking or defending.
Absolutely. And for what we've seen here, Fluffy Aimers is absolutely amazing when it comes to their defenses, as shown here on like Skyscraper. They were able to go 6-0. So will they be able here to go for almost a perfect half? That's what you're hoping for Fluffy Aimers here. It is going to be a game here all about, again, map control and playing next to each other for those refrags. And Fluffy Aimers has been pretty good about it so far. Going to be getting aggressive on this window. Not gonna over peek it here, but just showing his little presence.
I like what I'm seeing so far, though, in all honesty, out of Fluffy Aimers on their defense. They're playing it just like they played it when they were on theirs last map. They're playing it really confidently, and that can be your downfall, in all honesty. But they played confidently. They played confidence well last map. So yeah, Resided though, certainly interesting out of him.
Resided over here trying to do this weird cheeky play of climbing behind a shield and just constantly having that, thing noting that there's an enemy outside. But we are in a 5v4 now. Moses equalizes, making it a 4v4, taking out Deity, and Candle finding another one on Kiru. And Kiru, it seems like they're starting to notice Kiru's number. They are taking him out more and more often. When Kiru's off the board, they have a higher chance to being able to win these rounds. Gonna try to take a little bit more map control here. Getting into IT. It's just absolutely uncontested. This might be almost free for them.
Yeah, I think they are starting to notice little by little how Kiru plays. Moses, however, taking Resided down. Twist is down. Twist got back up. Twist went right back down. Kiru with a double kill. Emilio gets one, but Moses closes it out for Thrive. And Thrive are finally, for the first time so far, in the lead against Fluffy Aimers.
I will say, though, I got a little confused when it said Kiru double kill, because he was already dead, but we forget he was playing Frost. Being able, those Frost mats, even though you're in that 4v2 4v3 situations, if one person steps in one of those, that is a free kill if they're close enough to that Frost mat. Even though Kiru was not even allowed, his presence is still being shown. That is just how much of a powerhouse that he is in this matchup. But Thrive finally getting one round advantage, finally taking the lead for the first time in this series.
That's very true. You gotta like what you're seeing if you're Thrive right now. Thrive finally in the lead. I will say it's not the greatest thing in the world to have Rival go down first like he did last round. He actually might have 2 rounds in a row. I'm not quite certain on that, but I will say Rival doesn't even have the most deaths on his team right now. So that's got to tell you something. Quick little kill update for you. Kiru, even though he's been a little bit more down on this map than he was on Skyscraper, he still has 11. Kiru is certainly a force to be reckoned with on the side of Fluffy Aimers. And the most on the side of Thrive has been the ever-shifty Enrio, who has 7. Oh, I lied. Enrio is right behind Candle. I thought Candle's was a 0 for some reason. Candle, who is, like I've said multiple different times, are really good on the defense and plays zombie really well. Candle has 8. Candle is the most on the side of Thrive as of right now, and Kiru has 11 for the side of Fluffy Aimers.
Don't feel too bad thinking it was a 0. I mean, if you think about it, it's just 2 zeros stacked on top of each other.
That's a very good point.
But they are going to go ahead and get this map control. Enrio going to get one onto Emilio. So this is a huge pick, getting this already man advantage here with only a minute left and getting all this map control. They are going to be trying to hopefully start some verticals soon. Rival getting another.
It's good to see Rival get back on the board here as Enrio and Candle are now tied, both with 8, as it is a 5-3 side so far for Thrive. They've been doing pretty well for themselves as Rival gets another one onto Kiru again, and why would you swing it? Resided goes down at the hands of Rival as well, and it is now a 5-1. JJ being the last hope for Fluffy Aimers to try to keep them in this, to try to make it 4-4. But it doesn't matter. Moses, flawless round on the side of Thrive as they go up 5-3 on Fluffy Aimers. This is what a like, it's like someone flipped a switch somewhere. Like, they just, wow, that was insane for Thrive to be coming back and making it 5-3 already.
If you're a Thrive fan here, you are absolutely stoked that they have finally woken up, and you look at this and you're like, where was this attacking team when we were on, Skyscraper? Like, where was this, aggression, this teamwork, this, playing off of each other in the previous match?
I can agree with that.
They are now going to get at least a 2-round lead onto Fluffy Aimers, and if they keep this up, we might actually see a map 3.
We definitely could. It's not something that I really thought was a possibility going into, coming into this match when it was, still tied 0-0. It's definitely not something that I saw as a possibility, but Thrive are really turning it up. They're really putting their foot on the gas, and they're starting to drive away with it. They haven't left the station yet, but they're getting there, and they're showing why they are, like I've been saying, still a good team within this league. Fluffy Aimers definitely a bigger challenge for them, but yeah, they're definitely showing why they're still one of the better teams in this league.
They are definitely, picking up their speed on trying to get these roamers out of their positions, and just the absolute powerhouse that they seem to be showing now is crazy. We are on a basement defense. They are going to have to try to, figure this out, try to figure out where they're going to be pushing here. And they're going to try to clear out this top floor, but I don't think anybody is roaming on the 3rd floor. Oh, there's one. I see him in the, it's probably a vigil hanging out in meeting. They didn't see him though, but they do have an idea that somebody's going to be playing up here. Are they going to be able to get this pinch? And if they do, this is going to be huge. But if they don't notice him, this could be really big for Fluffy Aimers.
Could be big for Kiru. Kiru being the vigil. He's got the Boss G on deck. He's trying his hardest, as Twist was trying his hardest right then to possibly get a kill. Candle popping some Goyos. That fire's going to last for 25 whole seconds, meaning that no one, attack or defender, can cross through that as of right now. Candle still doing some heavy duty work up top, as Kiru is just trying to kind of slide his way around the site, but he did get pecked through the wall there. So now you got to be thinking that maybe they know where he is, but Resided getting a nice nitro onto Twist to make it 5-4 for Fluffy Aimers. They're showing a few signs of hope here to try to maybe come back into this.
If they want to do anything about trying to push this bomb site, they are going to have to deal with this vigil here that's just causing so much of a ruckus upstairs. They have an idea of where he is, but if he just keeps sitting here, he doesn't even have to peek, and he's already wasting so much time. If he can be able to get if he can get a pay carrier, it might be over for Thrive in this round.
Ooh.
Moses gonna be able to finally pick it up, but he's wasted so much time upstairs. There's only 40 seconds to try to get to the bomb site and get a plant down here. Thrive do have the health advantage when it comes to this, but there is a pre-play C4 in it. This could be huge if they blow it.
Oh, he did.
Emilio being able to get that C4 pick, bringing us to a 3v4, trying to get some kind of an equalizer here. Kendall trying to do his best.
Oh.
Moses gonna be getting the kill onto the pillar. Doesn't know where he's getting shot from. They got 17 seconds. They gotta try to push this site.
Wow,
Moses getting another one. It is now a 3v2. They're gonna be able to try to go for this plant, and he's playing Tug. They have the cover. This could be an easy win, but JJ getting the C4 goes out, but plant is down. We are in a 1v2 post-plant situation. gonna get shot up through the wall. They have an idea of where he is, but gonna be trying to figure out. There's this fire that's just gonna be wasting so much time. They're gonna be double swinging this, and there we go. Resighted, able to pick it up and get a free defuse with plenty of time, making this a very, very close night hit rounds.
Yeah, it's been getting closer by the round, so to speak. It was all about Candle there. In all honesty, he was doing some heavy lifting for the team on the buck. You know, getting a lot of those lines of sight through the floor and whatnot. And yeah, whenever it was time to push down, they were playing off of each other well, but I don't think that they were super coordinated when it comes to the plant specifically. You let the Kaid, you know, get the kill through the hole, and then he threw the nitro, which set off the fire, which then turned, you know, the fire onto the enemy there. So yeah, it was certainly a domino effect that kind of ended in Fluffy Aimer's favor. But yeah, you've got to like what you're seeing, in all honesty. If you are a fan of this league, if you're tuned in for a reason, that first match might not have been something that you wanted to watch, especially after it got out of hand. But this one has actually been, this map specifically has proven why these are two of the best teams in this league currently.
10 seconds to insertion.
Absolutely, and Fluffy Aimers, they probably did their research when it came to, you know, playing on Sky, knowing that how, you know, Thrive was going to play it. But Thrive here really, you know, putting up a fight, really holding those angles, and it's just amazing how they're playing so much better now. I think they, you know, after the break, you know, between the maps, they had a, you know, a sit down, a talk, and they were just talking to each other and being like, hey, this is what we're doing wrong, and this is how we can play it better.
Yeah, I believe they kind of used the map break as a little bit of like a tack timeout, so to speak. They've definitely kicked it into a higher gear, so to say, as they're up 5-4 on Fluffy Aimers. Fluffy Aimers on the defense still. In Rio, trying to do a little bit of map tricking here for his team to hopefully be able to use an Ash charge and to get this wall open that way. He's doing a pretty good job so far. He does have someone looking at him, but either way, the map trick is off and the wall is open. That's certainly impressive to see that executed so well and so fast. Kiru is a little hurt. Did get tagged down to 41 health, but you know, you've got a few different people in sight right now, so you're looking pretty good.
Seeing that there's this one player playing in the bomb site, trying to see if they can find an angle here, knowing that the Solus is playing upstairs in electrical, they can try to pinch this, you know, push the Solus out of position and try to hopefully get an advantage pick here. But nothing. It's really quiet right now, trying to figure out where all these players are playing, trying to get this control, getting really close to the Solus here, almost able to get her out of that position, but not quite. Most of the players have kind of fallen back and playing more close to site. The C4 almost taking the life, and another one comes out to finish off Inrio. Twist gonna be taking out Emilio, and then sighted, and it is now a flurry of kills
through the wall.
From,
wow, okay.
Absolutely amazing through wall kill coming out. They are in the site now, trying to see if they can recover this. The 3v2 sighted on the Solus, still being a huge nuisance. Bomb is down. The 1v3, and Kiru cleans it up.
Kiru cleaned that one up very, very well on the side of Fluffy Aimers. And if you're, we keep saying it, if you're a Thrive fan, you're happy. You're not really happy with this one. It is now 5-5. Fluffy Aimers could win the very next two, and we could be in bed. In all honesty, like, this is not looking good at all for the side of Thrive. I've got faith in them. I really do think that they can pull it out and take us to a map 3, but they are slipping, and it is not good to see them, you know, slipping the way that they are, because yeah, this is not what you want to see if you're Thrive. You really need to stop slipping, get your grip back, and really keep trying to go with this, because you've just dropped the last two, and you really need to keep things going.
Oh, most definitely. We are going back up to the top floor, and we've seen them, you know, take this site. They should be able to adjust, but with how Fluffy Aimers have been adjusting to how Thrive has been attacking, You know, they're adapting, they're realizing how they're trying to
5
push
seconds
things
remaining.
and countering it. We need Thrive to, you know, realize this and
Attackers'
try to,
objective
you know,
is to
bring up a
defuse the
counter
bomb.
plan for their counter
Attackers
plan.
dropped the diffuser. Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Yeah. You gotta hope that they have some sort of strategy that they haven't used yet that they can kind of pull out of their back pocket. Seeing Kiru on the Oryx is certainly interesting. You're also seeing JJ on the Ella. These are two operators that I've barely had
Defender is
any
exposed.
time to cast or even play. In all honesty, I've never really played too much of either of these operators myself. So yeah, you've got Enrio on the traditional Thermite here, though. He's not on Maverick, and Rival on the Blitz, which is certainly interesting to say the very least. For Thrive, you've got to be looking to hopefully get it going here. Twizzed, though, is doing some good work. He finally has his first phone call, and they do know that Azami is in garage somewhere. Azami being recited. Recited could be downstairs, but he's not. Candle takes Recited out quick, fast, and in a hurry. I'm not quite sure why Recited was still even sitting there.
Absolutely explosive entry coming from Thrive, trying to pick up the tempo, trying to show that this is their game. Gonna be taking all this kind of control here. Gonna slow down a little bit, realizing that there's one playing downstairs. Are they gonna be able to get this is kill? But no, JJ, as he's retreating, able to get that kill. It's a huge pick onto the Ash. Blitz is still on the thing. Moses out here getting a kill on JJ.
JJ was just right in the wide open for Moses' taking right then.
They are going to open this up for the Blitz. He does know that at least one is playing over here. Just off the side, Moses going to be able to take it up, get another round. It's going to be 4v2. Are they going to be able to try to equalize this? The Blitz just pushes in, trying to get the kill. Doesn't quite get it yet, but the team kill coming out from Moses. That's the Blitz out.
Rival.
They are going for a plant here. Plant is going to go down successfully. And at this 3v2, Twist going to be able to get one. And is now a 3v1. Can Deity be able to bring this back? He is unfortunately not.
Enrio was right there. He was waiting. He had a really good angle on the diffuser. He had a pretty good little inkling that he was there. And you got to be thinking, if you're Thrive, like, yeah, you did, you know, get your grip back a little bit right then. And you know, when you look at it, Rival is such a storied history with Fluffy Aimers. You gotta think about who he replaced. He replaced Brios. Brios went absolutely insane last week for the side of Thrive. He was their top fragger. Yeah, I mean, Rival is definitely doing good, and he's showing that he can fit with the team. Especially now that they are on match point, making it 6-5 here on Nighthaven. But yeah, you gotta be, if you are Thrive, you gotta be hoping that Rival can continue to contribute the way that he has so far, as he's sitting on 6 kills throughout our first, was that 11 rounds? I think we're on, what, round 12, 13 maybe?
Yeah, we are in round 12.
Yeah, match point here though for Thrive. It could be big.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing Rival pick up the Deimos here. Hopefully going to help his team clear out any of those roamers that might be around. And look, at least Thrive has at least secured themselves overtime for this round. And if they can win this last attack, it'll be huge for them, and we will see a map 3.
That's a very good point. You got to be hoping for a map 3 if you're a fan of Blitz, if you're a fan of Thrive. Fan of Fluffy Aimers, though, you're really just, yeah, you're looking for more of that. As Resided gets the first kill onto Twist, had no idea that he was there. Kiru also looking to possibly maybe hop out on the Scopos here. Decided better of it, and now it is a 4v5 situation for Thrive. I almost said Fluffy Aimers.
So Fluffy Aimers do have the advantage here, especially with it being a basement defense. They are going to try to figure out where that Scopos is, but it's going to focus on one that's in basement. He switched so he couldn't get noticed, but they do have an idea of where his other Scopos drone could be playing here in kitchen. Going to be trying to, you know, figure out how to, you know, lodge these players out of these positions that they're holding here. Gonna be trying to open up a lot of this, you know, site and walls. Deity playing with fire here, trying to see if he can get another pick for his team, playing very aggro on these stairs. They're gonna try to track the warden here, gonna see where he is, but there is a Scopos here to help support him. They didn't know he is low HP. C4 goes out, doesn't connect.
Like what I'm seeing here on the side of Thrive. They're playing this advantage well, or they're playing this disadvantage well. Kiru still on 13 health, has not yet swapped his Scopos drone.
Attackers dropped the diffuser.
Rival really doing some damage with that revolver. Rival does go down to 20 health. There wasn't too much of a trade when it comes to HP there either, as Kiru is still the only other defender as of right now who has low health. Everyone else is still full. Rival on 26. He's trying to look through these few little small angles he had made. Emilio does get one on the candle to continue the, as of this round, domination for Fluffy Aimers. They've done really good at just being on the defense. I know that sounds simple, but Rival does end up getting one on Deity here. Deity was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but yeah, Fluffy Aimers have played a really good defense so far. And with only 10 seconds left, you gotta be hoping that you can hold on to it, but maybe not. Enrio onto JJ, making it 3-3 now. Never mind Emilio, and Resided gets the last two to take us into overtime for Fluffy Aimers. Wow. I mean, if you're Thrive, you were up 5-3. In all honesty, they've been going back and forth here, but now you're in OT. Now it's serious.
Yeah, we do see that Thrive is starting on the attack for OT here, so this is probably not... They got to be able to pick up this round if they want to be able to win this map and bring it to a map 3, because they gotta show up with their attacks here. It was really close, but they seem to be wasting a lot of time towards that end. They were just bumbling around. They didn't know where they wanted to push. They kept changing the direction of where they were trying to go. And last second, 15 seconds left, that's when they decided to try to push something and just went right into the welcoming arms of Fluffy Aimers holding their angles for the site.
That's very true. That's very true. You got to be thinking, if you're Thrive, that you really need to think at least a little bit differently on your attack, because you know you've dropped quite a few in a row now. You've only won one out of the last 3 or 4-ish rounds. Not quite sure if that math is correct, but either way, Thrive have definitely, like, they've fallen off of their attack at least just a little bit here, and you got to be hoping that they can actually, like, that you said it best yourself. They have to win this attack in order to have any chance to take it to map 3 right here.
Absolutely, their attacks have been good, but not as good as we've been hoping they would be. If they can at least win this, they might have a chance to be able to win this map on defense. But Fluffy Aimers' defense is really strong. They are going to be going to the tertiary bomb site here, which is, you know, very interesting to see. Going to be trying to reposition his goo mine. Watch out for that. And they don't have too many people. Roman, I think they got 3 playing close to the site here and only 2 on the top floor. New Jammer going to come out, make it so it's harder for them. But look at this. Rival has made his way down. He might be able to find a pick, but no. Emilio is able to get a pick here, making this 5v4 and Fluffy Aimers' advantage here. That's the Deimos. That's such a huge utility off the board.
Rival again.
Rival, unfortunately, finding himself on the death of these opening duels. They do have a pulse here to try to go for a C4 if they try to take this vertical control. But do they realize this? Gonna be taking a little bit of damage on the pulse. If they didn't know they had a pulse, they now know.
Yep, they know.
We
now,
are
or at least they
personally
know
looking.
someone's below.
Ability that exchange comes here. Candle absolutely being able to take out Recited. equalizing the match, and now has the health advantage. There is only a minute left. If they want to try to do something, they're going to have to try to start pushing this site now. There it is.
There's that nitro. Yep.
There's that nitro from the Pulse. JJ bringing it more in his team's favor. They're going to have to try to do something here. Try to find someone out of position. Now only just now starting vertical play here.
Yeah, with 43 seconds left, it's not leaving what to see. But the time for vertical play was at least 25 to 30 seconds ago. You got the twist on the Twitch drone. That does give you some valuable information, especially as to where these defenders are hiding. Deity gets hurt a little bit due to that vertical, but you only have 20 seconds left. Enrio does get hurt a little bit. Twist does end up getting the kill onto Deity to tie it back up at 3, but yeah, I mean, you've got 15 seconds left. It's time to get in there. JJ, wow, this fell apart quickly for Thrive as it's now 1-2 with 10 seconds left, and Fluffy Aimers take their defense, and yeah, that could have been the nail in the coffin right there for Thrive.
Thrive, they were doing really good, but they took the map control so slow. Where's this aggressiveness that we saw at the very beginning of their attacking half? We need to see that kind of a Thrive here. And yet they're playing a lot more passive, a lot more slow. And now they're on the defense, and they have to win this defense. They are going to go command center server. They're going to have to try to get some kind of advantage here. Otherwise, it is going to be over, and Fluffy Aimers is going to be able to win.
Yeah, they absolutely have to. I mean, they Thrive have absolutely no option whatsoever. They need to do what they do best, and that's play defense. They've played defense very well throughout the past 2 weeks, let alone these past 2 maps. Yeah, they're gonna have to do what they've done best, and that's play defense here. And they need to win this defense, or else it's over. And even if they do, they are gonna be going back on the attack after that. Who's to say it wasn't already over by losing that last round?
10 seconds to insertion.
And especially since Fluffy Aimers, for that defense, went to a tertiary bomb site, one of the harder bomb sites to win. They're going to have 2 of the easiest defendable sites on their board, even if Thrive were to win this.
That's very true. Yep.
So we are going to be seeing them, you know. Pretty normal lineup here that we've seen for Fluffy Aimers for this top floor. Going to see the map, the Doke. Going to just open up these all these lines of sights to try to get some kind of advantage. They're probably going to try to be a little bit quicker than they normally have. Everybody on the roof trying to regroup, figure out where they're going to push, getting all those drones in. What an angle Kiru has been able to find here. Just going to hold passively here on this angle. They're going to work fast, knowing that it's going to be a bandit. Go ahead and just opening up.
Well, I think they did that just to make sure there wasn't one.
Yeah, just to make sure there wasn't a bandit tricking.
Yeah.
My Gadget going to be catching some of that utility here, and they are going to start, you know, pushing this connector side. Seems like they're wanting to go for a plant over here. How many people they got stacked up. Just remove the mirror, and that mirror being destroyed, they're most likely just going to go ahead and just reinforce that up and let them have that control. Minute 30, halfway through the round now. And there hasn't been a single pick or single point of damage yet. Still trying to work the map, still trying to work their advantage here.
Oh,
Twist with a beautiful C4. JJ is the equalize onto the Twist. Twist should have taken his C4 and played him more passively. But we do have a chance here that Kiru could be caught out. Call is going to come out, but Kiro loses the dual candle, bringing advantage here. We now got the Blitz pushing into electrical here. They are just going to play this far angle, kind of making that Blitz almost useless.
Using the Blitz as bait, I think.
Most likely is going to be the situation here. It's a 4v3. Going to try to, you know, reposition the troops, try to figure out where they're going to be pushing here. They're just kind of walking back and forth, back and forth. They don't know what to do.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser.
Candle getting Emilio. It is now this Blitz trying to go for this plant, but no rival able to kill the cover. And unfortunately, Candle finishes it up and is now We're going all the way.
Max
all
OT match point.
All 15 rounds. This is what we wanted to be seeing this whole time. This is just two powerhouses going at it. But with that being said, Thrive is now going to have to figure out what they've been doing wrong on their attacks.
Yeah, they're really gonna have to stun Fluffy Aimers if they're gonna win this attack, because the Fluffy Aimers have been such a lockdown defense type team. They chose to go to the basement. They won basement multiple times during regulation of this match. And yeah, if you're Thrive, you're gonna be looking for maybe a fast plant here, just anything to try to get you this win to take it to the last map. But yeah, as of right now, it's not looking good for Thrive. They're in a position where they're on the attack again. They haven't really attacked too well on this map so far. Yeah, they haven't really attacked very well, period, as of this match against Fluffy Aimers. And yeah, you're going to have to hope that it's not, we don't have 20 seconds left on the clock and we're starting vert, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's really time to show what you're made of. It's really time to actually get an attack win if you are Thrive, and if not, then you're going to be going home 0-2'd by Fluffy Aimers.
It's never a good sight. Like, it's never a good feeling on the mental whenever you do get 2-0'd, even though that you fought so hard in the second map. But that first map is one that you're going to look back and be like, why did we let this happen? And going to be trying to figure out where these players are. They do have a pretty big roam presence, playing pretty close to each other, so if only 2 on site, trying to bait out some shots here. But Fluffy Aimers are just going to be holding still here, while Thrive, they're going to try to take this control, just being really fast about trying to open up some of these hatches here, realizing that they're not playing certain areas. Doesn't seem like they're going for a full roam clear here, but only clearing half the map and holding those angles. They might just try to only take this small location. If they do, they might be able to get a plant off here.
That's a good point. You got to be hoping through Thrive that you can maybe kind of get a quick plant. I'm not quite sure what it is they're going for. Kiru, though, ooh, opening. Oh, no, this is not looking good. Kiru and Deity, the first 2 kills. It's 5-3 Fluffy Aimers. Thrive have worked in a deficit before, but man, being down 2 guys when it's OT max match point is not what you want. With a minute 20 left on the clock still, too.
They're going to try to get this kill onto the dock, and they do. Slowly trying to equalize this, but they are at such a big disadvantage here, and I don't even think they know Deity is still up here.
They might not.
They are going to go ahead and now understand he is up here. He's going to try to take this fight. Doesn't quite get it. They know he's here. He is holding the diffuser.
They're gonna pinch him.
They're going to have to, hopefully, if Deity can go huge here.
Ooh!
Deity does knock one. Inrio able to get it. And the C4 confirms the kill. We are now in a 2v3.
No
this could be
pickup for rival.
Really huge for Fluffy Aimers.
They
did rotate one person up. Does he know he is able to get the down? And it is now a 1v3.
No way. It's up to Inrio now.
Inrio is going to have to figure out where this player is. It's going to be an engagement. Is he going to be able to win? But no.
Wow.
Sided with the C4 in the max OT. Unfortunately, going to close it out. What a play from both teams.
The pre-placed C4 gives Fluffy Aimers the 8-7 max OT victory. Absolute insanity. You did not expect Thrive to come back in the way that Thrive just kind of came back there. Thrive did their absolute best, in all honesty, but I think they were just faced with a little bit better of a team here today, and a team that knows how to attack at the very least, better than they do, as it is 7-8 max OT victory for Fluffy Aimers as they walk away with this 2-0 onto Thrive, not letting Thrive get a single map. Unbelievable.
Fluffy Aimers, a real powerhouse that's, showing here, and they really were able to figure out like how Thrive was trying to attack and shut it down, especially when it came to, the first map. And they were also showing it a lot. Thrive was able to, kind of pick up what they were doing, at least on that second map, get a couple attacking rounds. But if I was Thrive, I would go back, workshop some of those attacks, some of those pushes, and figure out what you're doing wrong.
Yeah, if I'm Thrive, I'm certainly looking back on those attacks because you didn't really win any of them on Skyscraper. And like I say, ladies and gentlemen, if you were just now joining us, Fluffy Aimers and Thrive, very good series that we had here on our hands. It was 7-2 Fluffy Aimers, absolutely decimating Thrive on our first map of Skyscraper. We didn't have a chance to go to Consulate. That was our third map. We got pretty close to it, though. It was 8-7 max OT victory for Fluffy Aimers. And Nia, before we close it out, where can the fans find you at coming up, and how are you looking forward to possibly continuing here in Blitz after what you just saw?
After what I saw, I really hope that I get more chances to cast. This was such an amazing opportunity to come here. I am on Twitch. I'm also on Twitter. People can find me. That is my @ in the corner, whether it's that one or that one. Can't figure out which side. But I do try to stream. But hey, I would love to be able to keep casting because this was just such an amazing match. I want to see if Thrive, can pick themselves back up. I want to see if Fluffy Aimers can, improve even more than what they already are amazing at. And, Fluffy Aimers, I even remember they almost were able to qualify for this most recent major. Like, they are a powerhouse to try to go for, and being able to see them continue on their amazing streak is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a good point. Fluffy Aimers are one of the best teams in this league, and they just basically proved it right then after beating what I thought was, and still somewhat is, one of the better teams in this league, at least, Thrive. Like I say, if you're just now joining us, ladies and gentlemen, it was a 7-2 victory for Fluffy Aimers on Skyscraper, and it was a max OT victory for Fluffy Aimers on Nighthaven Labs as they take the series 2-0 and go up in the standings a little bit. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, I have been Ace of Toronto. I personally will be here with you guys on Blitz once again, casting on Wednesday. I've got another few gigs lined up, so you'll be able to catch me either in Collegiate or Project Harmony coming up pretty soon. But yeah, I've been Ace. That's been Nia right there. Once again, thank you for joining us here, Blitz Week 4, and we'll see you next time.
Have a wonderful day.
Ooh, you wanna come and get me, kick me down and make me hurt myself. Oh no, you will never forget me. I'm imprinted on your heart, I swear. At times you make me angry, but I know that it could always be worse, be worse, be worse. Baby, baby, now I'm trying to forget you. Baby, I know everything that was about you. No, I'm joking, I'm looking for the bathroom. Round and around, yeah, round and around we go. Picture perfect, but so many flaws that stopped you. I don't wanna ever see you in the same room. I open up and then you hit on all my issues. Round and around we go, we go. Didn't think you would ever believe in me. Now I see your colors, now they're in my dreams. Do I need a doctor? Do I just need sleep? Cause I've been up for almost 3 weeks. Ooh, you think you got to me? All you did was use me. Round and round we go. We go. Baby, baby, now I'm trying to forget you. Baby, I know everything that was about you. No, I'm joking, I'm looking for the bathroom. Round and around, yeah, round and around we go. Picture perfect, but so many flaws that stopped you. I don't wanna ever see you in the same room. I open up and then you hit on all my issues. Round and around we go, we go. Baby, baby, now I'm trying to forget you. Baby, I know everything Thank